You're watching DIY Dozier, and we are back at it with another episode of the bathroom remodel. Stick around, I'll show you the tools that are required and how to get the job done. Here's where we left off last time. You see I got the wall cut out here. I got some stuff removed. Toilet's gone, cabinet's gone, all that. So these 2x4s that you see exposed right here, these are the top, or the ceiling plates for the walls. This one up here as well. And I didn't want to take off the one that's touching the actual drywall. I'm going to remove the lower one here later. I'm not doing it today. Same thing right here. I'm not going to do it until I get ready to actually do drywall and new walls. The reason for that is it's going to expose the attic, and I don't want the holes in the attic to be open. I mean, I don't want insulation in the attic to fall down through the holes, and I don't want the attic open access into the house, because then the AC, it's really hot here. The AC is going to just go out of the house up into the attic. It's a hot space. I don't want to have to deal with that yet. So I'm going to wait and do that close to when I'm ready to put new drywall back in. So I'm just going to leave it studs or the ceiling plates attached up there. Anyway, I'm thinking today, I'm going to go ahead and knock the drywall loose, floor to ceiling right here on this piece. This is our load-bearing wall. I want to see what's inside here. I know there's going to be power in there. There's an outlet. There's an outlet right there on one side of the wall. There's a light switch right here. There's an outlet down low. So I know there's going to be wires in this wall. So I want to just be cautious when I'm tearing everything out. After I take this wall out here, time permitting, I may go ahead and look down here. I may go ahead and cut the drywall out right here along the top of this wall here to expose the floor joist. And I'll probably go ahead and cut the drywall out along this right here to expose the area that the floor joists are going to go into. That way I can have a look at what kind of structure support I have behind that wall to attach new joists to run across this hole to make sure that it's properly secured. So I'm just curious what I'm getting into. But yeah, so I'll probably do that as well. Let's get started. Got the drywall off on the inside of the bathroom, and got these wires exposed. So I'm gonna get my pliers, take out that staple, take out that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one way up there. And I'll pull this wire up and out of the way. I'm gonna get the rest of the drywall off from the opposite side, and then we'll have this wall opened up and exposed. So here we are again with the same type of hole that we had last time. Got the power running through there. I was going to knock this out with a hammer, but before I do that, I'm just going to take a Sawzall and I'm going to cut on this leading edge here. This wire is still hot, so, you know, I mean, be smart. I'm not going to say that what I'm doing is smart. I'm just going to say that I'm very aware of where the blade is. I would not dare keep my finger on that Sawzall and be anywhere near that wire. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to cut that out so I can get this wire out of there. I've got the wall demoed inside the closet now. I've got my power wire here from my outlet and my light switch. It's just free hanging. I'm going to go ahead and cut just a little bit to the left here, all the way down. Come all the way down the wall to expose the studs in the wall there. And after I get that exposed and pulled out, then I'll start to look and figure out how I want to do this this header for this door. And I'm thinking, because this wall is load bearing, what I'm going to do is essentially make another beam like that. I'm just going to raise it up to the ceiling, so that ceiling plate will be removed. Put it up to there, all the way across from this stud here to that stud there. But I want to see what's back here. I think I want to pull this wall back about 4 or 5 inches, so I might have to put another stud in back here somewhere. We'll see, but I'm going to get this drywall pulled out real quick, give you guys a wider view. Here we are. My fisheye lens going on. So with the exception of a little bit of cleanup, I'm pretty much done doing what I can do with this wall until I get ready to build this new beam across here. So I don't want to take this wall out. I don't think I'm going to demo the drywall in this room today either. The thing is, I don't know if you noticed or not, but I've got all my demo materials here. There's 3 42-gallon bags there. Here's a 4th one here. When I scoop up all this stuff off the floor in my little metal dustpan here and pick up all that stuff, this bag will be full. I don't have anywhere to put it right now. I need my truck tomorrow. I can't throw it in the bed of the truck and haul it off to the dump. So I'm kind of stuck with a limited amount of demo today. But no biggie. The time will pass in like 3 seconds. I'll be on the next day. It won't matter. Anyway, I'm going to go down here and start cutting open this stuff right here. I just want to have a look at the joists to see what I'm looking at. I want to know where I can mount or what I'm looking at behind this wall. So I kind of want to do that before I stop, and I'll just throw the scrap drywall in another bag and just throw it up here on the floor. So let's roll with it. I'm in the stairwell, and I'm looking at this line on the wall here. Let's turn this around. So there's my line right there going vertical. That's where the bottom of my joist is going to be as it comes across the wall. And there's our cutout. You can see I cut a little bit to the right, looks like I cut to the right about 10 inches too much there from up there, but that's fine because we're going to have to put a new wall stud in there anyway, so no big deal. I'm going to go ahead and cut this drywall down here and all the way across there and up to expose what's here, so I know what I got to work with. And I'll go ahead and cut the drywall around this as well and all the way over to here. Just looking at it, looks like I'll be cutting to about, right here. Even though the joist will probably be here somewhere, I'm gonna give it a little bit more space. I can always fix it back up with drywall later. Let's get busy with this. And after a little bit of dust and swinging of a hammer, we have that. It's actually way better than I thought it was going to be. Let's take a look here. Excuse the mess, I still need to clean up. Yeah, so we have a structure back here that's really easy to scab onto with floor joists. I don't gotta use, this is a 2x12. I'm not gonna use a 2x12. I'm gonna use a shorter board. That way I can bring the bottom up a touch higher. And that means I can come a touch further this direction and give me some more space with the wall that's going to go across right here. So what the concern is bumping my head walking down the stairs. I'm going to look up the codes and I'm going to look up structural stuff here. If I can get away with 2x6s, I'll do 2x6s, but I think I need to have 2x8s. It's just this one little space and it's only going to be a closet. It's not going to be holding much weight, so it's not really that super important, but more than likely 2x8. Not really sure what's down here. Don't really care. It appears that the subfloor was actually in here before they put the staircase in. What looks like happened was they put the subfloor in, did it all the way across the entire floor, and then they came back and cut out this section because there's no reason to have subfloor right there. It's only a 2-inch strip, but it goes to the corner all the way around. But I'm going to pull out the fasteners on the top of these 2x4s here, on all these, all the way around. I'll go ahead and cut below the subfloor level. I don't necessarily want to cut these out because this is holding this 2x4 there. Drywall is attached to that. So I'll probably cut right here on this board. Remove that one fastener. And on this board over here, same thing. I got 3 nails here. I don't want to touch that. I'm going to pull that out and I'll probably cut just below that. Let me get some of these removed. And I want to get a 2x6 cut. I want to mount it right here temporarily and attach it back over here to this side. I'm having to spin around backwards here. So if I do this, yeah. So I want to take a 2x6, put it back there and over to there. And let's see if it bumps my noggin. If it doesn't, then great. If it's a little tight, a little bit too close,
do it like a tiger. Yes, yes, yes.
Just a little too tight, then I'll tap the board and slide it out a little bit further. So we're going to start with it right here, right there. And if it's too tight, we're just going to move it further this way until it doesn't hit my head. So, yeah, there's our stairs. Up on the ladder. Let's do it. Okay, so now I have all these wall studs cut short. Everything is good to go to except our OSB subfloor. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and measure the distance between this board and that board there, and we're going to wedge a board tight in there, get it level, get it square, and have a look at it. And here we are with the board in. It's just press fit right now with the hammer. It's above my head considerably. Let's turn this camera. Yeah, I'm sweating. Now, this is not directly over my head, as you can see. So, and even right there, the step before, it's about 4 inches above my head. So if I take a step down to the next step, it's way up there. Look at the distance. So really, I feel like I can move it about probably 4 inches. So I could probably take this and move it over to about right here somewhere. So let's get my pen. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this. So let's put that right there and see what we got. Let's try again. Okay, I moved the board to my mark that I put on the wall there, and still have a reasonable amount of space there above my head. If I turn this around and take off my hat so you can see my head. There you go. This is actually above the next step that's down. So as I take a step down, there we go. It's still, right now, it's considerably, even right here, that's 6 inches above my head. Take a step down here, and we're at least a foot clearance over my head right now. So let me go run this by the missus. I got to make sure she's okay with it. If she says we are a go, then I'm going to scrap this board. Then I will scrap this board because I caused damage to it smacking it with the hammer. I split it in two right there all the way to here. And on this side, it's split from there all the way to about right here. But on the other side, the crack goes much further. I split it from the end all the way up to, looks like I could see it right here. It's very fine, but there's a crack there. See, so, and this side over here also. This board is no good. So I will mark, if she says we're good to go with this location, I will mark an outline of this board right here, and then I'll go get another one and cut it a little bit shorter. I made this one tight intentionally so I didn't have to mount it with screws. So I'll cut another 6 or a 32nd of an inch off of it so it won't be so tight, and we'll go from there. Got the first one in here. Get my screws in there. Joist hanger is in place. Both sides. It's level with the top. See right there. Nice and level for the OSB to come in. Everything's good to go. So now I'm going to run mine at 16-inch centers. So I'm going to measure the distance between this right here over to that wall. And I'm going to divide it by 16 and let's see what we get. How many? Every 16 inches I'm going to put another floor joist across here. So, but I'd like to make it even. If it ends up having to be 14 inches, then fine, I'll do 14-inch centers. Either way, let's see what we get. All right, I just pulled a tape measure from this wall right here to the board behind me that you see back there. I've got 54 inches, and I wanted to do 16-inch centers, but it's going to be uneven. That hurts my OCD. So we're going to do 4 boards instead at 13.5 inches. So every 13.5 inches, I'm going to throw a joist up here on the wall. I'm going to put a mark. So we should have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that should be the one at the end should be the 4th one. So let's get it marked out. So when I'm doing my measurements here, 13.5 inches on center comes up to about right here. So I just slid it over here. So I'm going to put that board right here on this side of that stud. It's still, as long as I'm less than 16-inch center, I'm good. So there's 14.5, call it. And then the other 13.5 from there came to about right here. So I shortened it, put it on this side. And then that leaves us with roughly 24 inches between this one and the wall. So I put it at the 12-inch mark, which is right there. So we got even spacing across here. I'm gonna get the joist hangers and go to town. Cut some wood, put it up on the wall. And here we are with all of our joists installed. Good clearance overhead. Here we go. We got 16 inches exactly between the first two and 15 inches between these two and about 15.5 between these two. So yeah, it's not, you know, perfect, but it's what I need. So there we go. That is going to wrap it up for today. It took a little bit longer than I had anticipated. I only had, an hour and a half to mess with it. It took about 2 hours, so we're a little bit behind schedule. This is going to wrap up the 3rd episode of the bathroom renovation. You're watching DIY Dozier. As always, share the knowledge, share the passion, share the skill. Do it yourself.